Hey everyone, Kristen here with a new episode of Free Spirit Beading. How is everybody doing today? I'm kind of just okay. I'm not feeling great today. I don't know why, but I slept a lot yesterday. I was feeling kind of allergenic because it's been kind of cloudy and rainy here, which has been lovely. But yeah, today just not feeling 100%. I'm hoping that some beading will help turn it around. Hi, Lydia. Hi, Gail. Hi, Wendy and Melissa and Dana and Ilyanka. Hello, Sherry. Monday. We're going to make a really cute earring today. We are going to make this cute caged little coin bead pumpkin and our own ear wire using some of our craft wire. We're going to use 24 gauge and 20 gauge of the antique copper, craft wire antique copper. And the coin beads are from the Badlands kit bead strand. So it's the coordinating bead strand that came, or you could get in addition to the Badlands kit. Badlands is our next kit that we're opening up on Wednesday. It's Kit Week, which is always so exciting. And we still have some left. We're like 75% sold out. So we still have a handful of these left. It's a great color combo. I'm excited to open it with all of you this week and make some things. I know, I hope it's just a case of the Mondays too, Melissa. I went to bed at like 8 p.m. last night and slept all the way till this morning. So I got a lot of sleep, maybe too much sleep. I still feel like I have sleepy eyes, like maybe too much sleep. Sometimes that happens, right? So I have a giveaway going on. Comment pumpkin in the comments with the hashtag pumpkin to enter to be part of the giveaway. I'll choose a winner at the end of the video, and I'm going to give away one of our kits. Pretty big giveaway today, but it's Kit Week and we still have some left. So I thought I'll give away one of these kits. We only had 2 of the Badlands bead strand left. So I can't give away one of those because we don't have enough. So I hope if you got one, you can come make along with me. If you didn't get one and you have some coin-shaped beads lying around, this is the shape we'll be using. Coin shape is like a flat circular bead. And yeah, Damien is here with me today on Mondays. He's in the background helping out with some links. He was on vacation last week. Happy to have him back today. And before we go down to my beading table, let's talk about our sale. We've got craft wire on sale. So all of our craft wire, we have gauges 16 all the way down to gauge 28. And we have silver plated colors like silver plated gold and silver and rose gold. And then we also have just the copper colors like the antique copper, the bare copper. And that's where you'll also find some of our blue and red and green are just in the regular copper color section. You must enter the coupon code CraftWire15, all one word, to receive your 15% off. Only one coupon per order, and that will not apply on top of any other order discounts that you may get. The sale runs until tomorrow, October 29th, at midnight Pacific time is when that ends. And Yeah, so it's a great time to stock up on some craft wire. You know, Joyce is always using craft wire. She loves it. It's her first love on her episodes on Friday. And it's a favorite of mine to work with as well. So we're going to have a fun craft wire project today, tutorial. Anything else going on I should mention? Oh, we have a live sale this week. So stay tuned for our live sale on Thursday. That is at 1 p.m. Pacific time, and they run a couple of hours. It's a lot of fun when you can join live. It's best to shop on the Softflex Company app. So if you can download that to your device on your iPhone or iPad or Android, either one, any of those devices, the app is a great place to shop. We also have a live sale website, and you can also shop with Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for sharing. We now have text notifications. Damien just shared a link to sign up for text notifications for when we go live. This is something brand new. This week will be the first week we're testing it out. And we just thought it would be really helpful for those of you that like to join us live to get a quick little reminder on Thursdays to let you know that the live sale has started. Yeah, so that's exciting. And then we have our kit day on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and we have Spill the Beads with Joyce on Friday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. So that's what's happening this week. Let's pop down to the beading table and see what we're going to be working with. Here is the Badlands kit. It's still a mystery until Wednesday. I'm going to give one lucky viewer today a kit. Just use that hashtag pumpkin to enter. And this is what the Badlands bead strand look like. I have all of the beads opened up, and I've been playing with them, using some to create my own little beaded ear wires, and then going to be using these for that pumpkin design today. And then everything else you see here are what's left over from that bead strand. Really fun, big center focal. You'll get 2 of those coins that we're going to be using in today's project. You get 2 of these little yarn beads in a beautiful dark blue color. There's a couple of these, I think they're probably dyed howlite, little spacers, and then you get a couple more in a smaller size. You actually get 4 because I put 1 onto this ear wire. There are 2 of these really pretty dark brown glass beads. And then you have 2 of these topaz colored rondelles. And some really fun, oh, this guy. I love this one. It's like a disco ball, but it's a little more opaque with the crystals on the inside. They're kind of a milky crystal. And then the dark antique copper looking metal tone. I love that. And then you get a bunch of these antique copper components. So you get these 2 spacers, which are lovely. You got 4 of these, which you can double up together or use them separately. You got a few of these, looks like 4 of them. I used one in that ear wire. And you'll get 4 of these little little leafy bead caps. And I'm going to be using those in the pumpkin. So I'm just going to pull out the beads now that I'm going to use in the pumpkin today. You're going to use one of those coins. we're going to use one of those leafy bead caps. And we're going to use this little disco ball guy here. And then I've got my tools. I've got a pair of nylon jaw pliers. I've got a pair of the wire looping pliers, some cutters, and a pair of chain nose pliers that I'll be using. And then for our craft wire, I'm going to use the 24 gauge antique copper for the pumpkin. Doesn't that look great? I know. It takes that kind of somewhat boring all by itself little coin and makes it a magical pumpkin carriage. And then we've got 20 gauge antique copper for, I'm going to use this one for the ear wire. Oh, speaking of, I also have a burr cup that I'll use for the ear wire as well, and a wire whacker. Again, I'll use this for the ear wire to help. Actually, I don't know that I'll use this for the ear wire because I have a bead on it. I think I just used the nylon jaw pliers today for that guy. So hello. If you're just joining me, we're going to make a really cute little pumpkin tutorial, caged pumpkin earring. Let me see if I missed any questions. Kelly, I don't know the answer to that. The only thing I can say is I think so. I didn't look that up with whether or not we can send international text. But I would think if you could sign up on the sign up link, then the answer is probably yes. And if it doesn't work, it'll probably give you a little error message that your phone number wasn't accepted. Lydia says, how do you get your wire straight? Every time I use the nylon jaw pliers, it bends in a curve. When I use the nylon jaw pliers to straighten my wire, it does give it a little bit of a bend because the wire just naturally likes to bend. Really what you're doing with it is you're trying to, I kind of pull it back the opposite way, I guess, but it'll still curl up a little bit. Really what you're trying to do is you're trying to get like all of the little bumps out of the wire so that when you put the wire in the position that you want it to be, it's a smoother piece of wire. I don't necessarily get it to be just coming off the spool totally straight. It still has a slight bend in it. It's just a smoother piece. Whereas the wire over here, you see how it has all those little, see how it's catching the light right there? Because it's got kind of little dings in it. By using this to smooth it out, I'm smoothing out the wire. You no longer see those little flecks of light from the dings, but the wire itself still has a curve. So I'm going to cut some of the 24 gauge wire first. Let's move these out of the way. And I'm going to cut about 14 inches. And we're just going to use that one long strand for the pumpkin. 13 and 14. And I'll just do this one more time. Hold onto my wire and smooth it out. So what you want to do is take your two ends up towards one another, and you're going to find the center back here. I know I have a little bit of an extra shadow today. It's cloudy out, so I don't have as bright of, oh, you know what? Let me try this too. The window's not quite as bright as usual. So you have a little bit more of a shadow today. My coin bead is about 15 millimeters round. Thanks for that question, Anne. So I'm going to pick up my wire looping pliers, and I'm going to use the second thigh, so not the smallest, but the next one up, to create my loop. And what I'm doing right now is I'm creating the loop at the top of the earring. So I'm going to go ahead and fold around that plier like so. And then since this is pretty thin wire, we're going to open up our plier and then go around one more time so that I've got two wires. Two wires are better than one, right? So let me go ahead and crisscross them there. Looks like this. So it kind of has like a little more of a split wire look to it. Place it back on there, and I'm just going to pull both wires just to make that nice and straight. The beads are from the Badlands bead strand, which we only have 2 of those left. But if you have gotten it already, you can use the coins and the little bead here from the Badlands strand, as well as this little guy too. Okay, so I've got these crisscrossed. I've got this one on top coming towards me and this one on the bottom going away. And what I want to do here before I take it off my pliers is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to twist. And I'm going to twist it once. I'm going to twist it twice. And so now when I take it off, I've got that loop and then I've got 2 twists. So now what I'm going to do is just use my thumb and I'm going to lightly bend that wire, kind of making that little fish shape. So I'm just making these areas right here a nice little bend. Kind of like that. And then I'm going to pick up my coin bead and I might just want to straighten this out just a bit. Just a little more up and down. It was a little sideways. I'm going to pick up my coin bead and I want to position my bail at the top where the hole is. And then I'm going to grab my wire to crisscross at the bottom. So I'm just going to move my wires back and forth so I get a nice little crisscross at the bottom of the coin bead, right where the hole is. And I want my bail to be above the coin bead. So I don't want it positioned down below. I want the twists to be located at the top where it meets that coin bead. So go ahead and hold that in place again, and I'll just crisscross these wires one more time, and then I'm going to bend them forward. So like it's going to go around. Just going to put a nice bend. So now my wire looks like this. I'm going to gather up these 2 wires again. I'm just going to clean that up so they are even. And then slide my coin bead, whichever way you want to be the front, down both wires till it comes to your bend. And go ahead and bend my first little cage up and around my coin, just like that. And you'll see these 2 are coming out the back. So now we're going to feed. I'm going to feed this one from the left. I'm going to feed it through this cage that I made here, and I'm going to direct it. I'm sorry, this is the right. Feed this wire from the right through the cage and direct it towards my left. Pull that through. I'm just going to use my hands because it is a thin wire. So that one's going that way. And now we're going to do the same for this wire here. So this is my wire that's on the left. I am going to feed it through the front and pull it towards the right. And then you can kind of pull them both if you want to. And here, I'm just going to make sure, there we go. Just going to kind of wiggle things around so it feels a little bit centered now. Just fiddling with my fingers to kind of center that cage. And then you can take one side, wrap it around that bail. And then I'm going to take the other side and I'm going to put on my leaf at this point. So I'm going to grab this little bead cap that came on the Badlands strand, and I'm going to slide it down towards my bead and position it where you want it. This acts as my little leaf. So I'm going to go ahead and softly just push it all around. Oh, you know what? I missed a part. I'm like, why do I have so much wire left? I missed a part. Let me do another part first. Take that off like it never happened. And in both cases, I'm just going to wrap. So I ended up wrapping both of the wires around the bail, and that's where I'm at now. And I want them to be coming from the back. So I'm just going to do one more wrap that way, one more wrap this way, so that my wires are coming from the back to the front. And now once again, on this side, I'm going to smooth out my wire because I want this to be the cage that goes around on the outside. And then I'll do the same on this side. And you're going to pull these similar to what we did on the first time. We're going to crisscross them right near the hole. And now I'm going to twist. Once you get it where you want it, you're going to twist those two wires, just like so. I'm using 24 gauge. And then you're going to twist a few more times. I'm going to say like 4 times, 3 and 4. And then you're going to take that twist up the back. You want it to be around halfway or less. And I'm just going to finagle a little bit again. Just going to kind of splay these out a little bit. Get my cage where I want it. So that's our back. just about 4 twists. I'm going to spin it around here again. And now I'm going to go ahead and take this wire on the left and wrap it around the bail a couple of times and then trim that off and tuck it in. And here is where I'm going to add my leaf. So this one that is left, we're going to go ahead and bring that back down over my pumpkin and position it however you'd like to give it that leafy feel. And then you'll use this wire to wrap around that bail. And then you just want to make sure that you don't have any pokey bits for that leaf. So go ahead and kind of push it down in all the places. It's very soft metal. Trim that off and tuck in that wire. And then I want my bail to be facing me for my earring. So now we're done with our pumpkin. You can kind of play with these little cage pieces if you want to. Although I find the more I fiddle after the fact, the less I like it. So I think I'll leave it alone. I notice I'm a little further today. Let's see. There we go. And now we'll go ahead and add our earring finding. So to do that, I'm going to use this one bead that came on the bead strand. And Dana says, clever leaf addition. Thanks. I know that worked out perfect, right? Because that was just a perfect little leaf on there. You could even paint these if you want to, using the vintage paints. You could probably paint that little leaf if you want to. So now I'm going to make myself an ear wire. And you could just stick this right on an ear wire at this point if you wanted to. But I wanted to add in this little extra bead. You could always do a connection with that bead and then do your ear wire. But I decided to play with just making my own and putting that bead right on there. So I'm going to use the antique copper color again to match, and I'm going to use the 20 gauge. I'm going to go ahead and smooth out my wire. And the larger gauges do straighten out a little bit better. I go back and forth on either side, and you will get a little bit straighter of a wire, but it still bends slightly. Trim this off. I probably have way too much wire here. Let's see what I've got. 6 inches. Let's cut it in half. And now first thing I'm going to do is take my flush cutter and just make sure both sides are flush. So using the flat side of my cutter, I'm going to trim that side of the wire, and then I'm going to trim this side of the wire so that they both have a nice clean cut on either side. Then I'm going to grab this tool again. My wire looping tool is wonderful for making ear wires. And oh, let me show you the back. So the back just has a little twist. I went up higher on this one than I did on this one. This one had just 4 twists. This one looks like maybe it had 5 or 6. So I'm going to grab this wire. I'm going to put it into my wire looping pliers, and I'm going to go around the smallest one. And that's what I'm going to use for the bottom part of my earring. So it looks like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and place my bead on there. Let's straighten this out a little bit. Let's break the neck and straighten this out. And then I'll put my bead on there. And then next, I like to use usually the widest. I'm pretty sure that's what I did here. Yeah. So my next step is I'm going to place my beaded little eye wire onto my wire looping pliers again, and I'm going to make it so that this is facing away from me so I can go ahead and bend my wire around. And then I might even tilt it back a little bit first and then bend it around. Nope, I'm going to do that again. I don't like how that looked. So we just use our nylon jaw pliers to straighten our wire again. Easy peasy. First thing I'm going to do this time is I'm going to go like that first and give this a place for that bead to sort of stay. I know I forget about it a lot too, Dana. And now I will place that inside of my pliers and go up and around. And then if you want to tilt it back a little bit, you kind of give it a little tilt back. That's better. That's what I was looking for. And then my last step is to just make a little, or third to last, is to make a little bend on the bottom. And then you can even shorten that if you want to, if you don't want that to be quite as long. Now for work hardening it, you can place it in a wire whacker, but you have to be careful of your bead. So the wire whacker, you can do that, but you'd have to kind of hold it onto its side and smash it down and be very aware of your bead and careful of your bead. If you're just doing a couple of these, not mass producing, you can just take your nylon jaw pliers and squeeze it all the way around. Just go up and down, squeeze, 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 flip it over, squeeze, 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 and that will work harden it for you as well. And then the bird cup that's the last step. I know, thank you. It's like a very simple but very cute combo with the turquoise pumpkin and that little black and white disco ball. So the burr cup has a little file on the end, and you just put your ear wire into that file and twist that around. And what that will do was take your pointy cut that you had and file it down for you so it's more comfortable going in your ear. And when we're done with the ear wire, we can just go ahead and attach it to our pumpkin. So take your chain nose pliers, open up that little loop at the bottom, put your pumpkin in facing the front, and then close that back up. And there you go. Cute little turquoise caged coin pumpkin bead with handmade ear wires to boot. Oh, there's a battery operated one. That sounds cool. That sounds like something that would be helpful if you're making a lot of these, right? Versus just doing it on your own like this. You could also just do it with a regular metal file too, if that's something you have. This just has a nice little cup in there that helps it burr right around. Very, very cute. So the leaf pieces, all the beads that I used are from the Badlands bead strand, which we only had a couple left as of today, but I used these. They were in that bead strand and they were bead caps, probably on the end of these, I think. So the coin beads, the little leaves, and the little disco balls were all included in that bead strand. Woohoo! My goodness. It's good that it was a project that wasn't too intense for me today. I'm just having that kind of day. But that was really fun. And I think if I have more coin beads, that would be a great project to do with quite a few different types of coin beads, right? You could do orange, you can do like white or cream colored for those creamy pumpkins. They have what, like some blues and kind of gray sometimes. Lots of fun, different colored pumpkins. And we talked a little bit about how, you know, I didn't bring a lot of beads with me when I came here. And I was just laughing. I saw our friend Christy Friesen this weekend on Saturday. We went to coffee together. And she goes, hey, I have a whole bunch of beads. I've already gone through and taken out what I want. Do you want to take a look and go through and then just give me back anything that you don't want? And I said, well, of course, sure. So she sends me home with 4 brown bags from Safeway full of beads. Here is just one of probably a dozen different bags of stuff. These are all pearls. She had them somewhat organized with different things, but I was just laughing because I said to my husband when I came home, I go, beads just have a way of finding you. I had one little box of beads and I figured I'll just get what Softlex sends me, you know, and I left most of my stash back in Arizona. And yeah, and then I come home with bags and bags to go through of beads. So there's one bag. Here's another bag, all in browns and things. Here's a bag of just all these like gold pieces. I went through and picked out some of my favorites. Some of them were, I saw some tiara cast in here, and I saw some that were like kind of nicer, and some were more like very fast fashion kind of things, right? But yeah, so fun. So fun to hook me up. I originally was going to just go through them at our house, but we spent so much time talking at coffee that she was just like, you know what? I know you have to go. I had somewhere I needed to be at a certain time. And she's like, just take them all. Just take them all, go through it, and then bring me back anything you don't want. So moral of the story, for some reason, beads just find you when you are a beader. They just sort of appear out of anywhere, right? Yeah, that was super sweet of Christy to hook me up. I think next time we might have a little play date together. But now I was like, ooh, I'm in Hawaii. I need all of these glass pearls. I will take those. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, super hoot. Okay, last chance to enter my giveaway. Use the hashtag pumpkin in the comments to have your name be in the entry, and I will draw a winner. You must be here. When I call your name, let me know that you're here. Otherwise, if I don't hear from you, you will forfeit your prize and I will call another name. Yeah, so that's what I spent my day yesterday going through all those bags of beads and picking out. I only took a handful of stuff, maybe one Safeway shopping bag full of things. I'm gonna bring the rest back to her. But I was like, well, that was fun. I love a good treasure hunt. Let's go ahead and bring up the giveaway. Pumpkin, 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 and we're giving away a Badlands kit. If you haven't gotten it yet, we still have some at softflexcompany.com. Be sure to pick up some craft wire when you're there. I would definitely say 20, 22, 24 are like the best all around gauges to use for pretty much any project. So if you need some wire, go grab some wire. Check out some of the other colors we've got and metal tones if you have plenty of silver and gold and copper and you want something different. We have a few different ones to check out too. And just use that coupon code CraftWire15 to get that 15% off. All right, here we go. Let's see who our winner is today. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Melissa, are you still here? Melissa did a really fun video with the Day of the Dead kit. She's done a couple of them, I think. But we put one in our Saturday email this past week. So go check her out. She's here. Hooray, Melissa. You're going to get a kit. You may have one already, but hopefully you'll be okay with having a second one. Yay, yay. Go ahead and email us at info@softflexcompany.com and let us know your shipping address, and we will get your prize out to you. Awesome. Thanks for hanging with me, everyone. You turned my day around as always, right? I wasn't feeling so great when I got started, but I'm feeling a lot better now. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you have a lovely beady week. And I look forward to seeing you next Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific time for a new episode of Free Spirit Beading. Be sure to hang out with Sarah on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time for the unboxing of Badlands kit. And join us for a live sale on Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. On Halloween, we'll have some spooktacular specials for you. And then join Joyce on Friday at 9:30 a.m. for her episode of Spill the Beads. Love you all. Thanks again for hanging out with me. And I hope to see some of you making some wire caged pumpkins. Go ahead and share it in the group let me go this way, at Softflex, the Softflex VIB studio, and show us what you're working on. We also have free ideas. Joyful Beading is going to kick off on Friday. So stay tuned for that too. We decided to push it back to November, and we look forward to hanging out with you and creating for the whole month of November for a new segment of Joyful Beading. Bye, everybody. See you later.